All right, weather impact alert for us for today and going into your Easter Sunday as well. Since this morning, it's been pretty quiet outside, but now we're starting to see some of those showers building back off towards the west. So far, nothing severe right now. I think that severe potential comes back into the forecast by the time we get later on tonight and then going overnight into Easter Sunday. Now, for your Easter, it looks a little bit different. Latest models showing that maybe we enter into a bit of a lull during the morning hours before we see that additional storm threat pickup by the time we get late into the morning and into the early afternoon for tomorrow. We'll go over those details here in just a second. Futurecast shows us this. By the time we get here in just the next couple of hours, maybe continuing to see those heavy rainfall, those additional thunderstorms firing up just off towards our west and evolving into northwest Arkansas and the River Valley by the time we get later on this evening. Maybe by your 5 News at 10, we have some of those thunderstorms across our region. Now, that continues into the overnight hours. This is where we could pick up a lot of that heavy rainfall across northwest Arkansas, but it all depends on where that front is going to sag to. If it starts to move a little bit further off towards the south, we could see some of that heavier rainfall additionally across the River Valley as well. But if it stays a little bit farther up towards the north, the parts of the River Valley may not see as much of that rainfall. This model certainly hints at the idea that maybe that front is going to stay a little bit further off towards the north. It's not gospel, but it is giving us a better idea of what to expect by the time we get later on this evening. That continues into your Easter Sunday morning, but then here's that hint that maybe there is a little bit of a lull for those Easter egg hunts and folks who are heading out to church, maybe seeing a little bit of a brief lull in the activity before we get into late into the afternoon, and that's where we could see additional thunderstorms firing up along a cold front that's going to push through the region before we're finally done with the rainfall by the time we get late Sunday night and going into your Monday morning. So here's a look at tonight's risk, that level 2 risk across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. 2 out of 5, again, not the highest threat we've ever had, but it's going to be for the concern of maybe some strong winds, maybe some hail. And again, that threat is low, but it's not zero for some rotation this evening. Here's a look at what it looks like. And the hail and wind threat definitely stand out, but that tornado threat, while it's low, it's not zero and definitely looks to be higher across parts of the River Valley this evening. Here's a look at Sunday's system. That front's going to lift off towards the north, and here's that cold front that's going to sweep in by the time we get to Sunday afternoon, and that's going to bring some additional thunderstorms back into the region by the time, let's say, we get late into the morning hours, just close towards the noon hour for tomorrow. Along that cold front, that's where we could see some of those strong, maybe even severe storms, and I tell you what, the risk for those severe storms is higher going into our Easter Sunday. And by the time we get to Sunday evening, most of that activity has cleared out as that front pushes off towards the east. So here's a look at Sunday's risk. Again, this is mid-morning going into the afternoon. That level 3 enhanced risk across parts of northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And again, definitely is increasing further east you live, mainly east of I-49 would have the highest threat for tomorrow. Here's a look at that breakdown. The main concerns would be some strong damaging winds, some hail, but again, low chance for some rotation, but not zero for the chances for a few spin-up tornadoes for your Easter Sunday. Weather impact alert for overnight tonight and then again going into tomorrow afternoon. With all these thunderstorm chances added up, the flooding risk is definitely going to be elevated as well. That flood watch goes out into effect through tomorrow evening. Give you a rough idea of how much more we could be looking at. Anywhere between 1 up to 3 more inches of rainfall would be possible by the time we get through this weekend. Northwest Arkansas over the next 7 days looks like this. Weather impact alert for today and tomorrow. Can we clear out by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday? But you take a look at later on next week, more of that active pattern returning. We could see more of the chances of some heavy rainfall and thunderstorms returning by the time we get late next week. Your Easter Sunday in the morning hours, maybe a better chance of staying dry. By the time we get to the afternoon, chances for more storms.